Fake HOA cops trashed a single mom's lemonade stand. Her daughter's a tech genius. This lemonade stand belongs to Maria Gonzalez, a single mom in Florida who set it up to help pay for her daughter Sofia's school fees. But a group of fake HOA cops showed up, called it a commercial violation, and trashed it, making Sofia cry in front of her customers. They didn't know Sofia is a 14-year-old tech genius who'd hack their entire operation and bring them down. This is HOA Karen Files, where we expose the bullies who target the innocent. Ever had a fake HOA ruin something special? Share your story in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell for more. Let's dive into how Maria and Sofia turned the tables on these scammers. Maria Gonzalez, 40, lived in a small, sun-bleached house in a suburban neighborhood in Orlando, Florida. The house was modest, peeling paint, a leaky roof, and a front yard that was more weeds than grass. But Maria had made it a home for herself and her 14-year-old daughter, Sofia. Maria was a single mom, working long hours as a cashier at a local grocery store to make ends meet. Money was tight, especially with Sofia's school fees piling up. Sofia was a bright student, excelling in math and science, and Maria dreamed of sending her to a STEM-focused high school next year. But the tuition was steep, and Maria was determined to find a way. One Saturday morning, Sofia came up with an idea. "Mom, let's set up a lemonade stand," she said, her eyes sparkling. "I can make the lemonade, and we can sell it to the neighbors. It'll be fun, and we can save the money for school." Maria smiled, her heart swelling with pride. Sofia had always been resourceful, a trait she'd inherited from her late father, who'd passed away when Sofia was just 5. "Let's do it," Maria said, hugging her daughter. They spent the morning mixing lemonade, fresh lemons, sugar, and a splash of mint from their tiny backyard garden. Sofia painted a sign that read "Sofia's Lemonade," $1 in bright yellow letters, decorating it with little lemon drawings. By noon, the lemonade stand was set up on the front lawn, a folding table covered with a checkered tablecloth, a pitcher of lemonade, and a stack of plastic cups. Sofia sat behind the table, her smile wide as she waved at passing neighbors. The stand was a hit. Kids on bikes stopped by, parents walking their dogs bought cups, and even the mailman, Mr. Thompson, dropped $1 in the jar. "This is the best lemonade I've ever had," he said, winking at Sofia. By the end of the day, they'd made $30, and Sofia was already planning to add cookies to the menu next time. "We're gonna make it, Mom," she said, hugging Maria tightly. "I know we will." The next weekend, the stand was even busier. Word had spread, and neighbors brought their friends, turning the lawn into a little community gathering spot. Sofia added a tip jar with a sign that read, "Saving for School," and people were generous, some dropping $5 bills for a single cup. Maria watched from the porch, her heart full. She thought about how proud Sofia's dad would be, seeing their little girl shine. But the joy didn't last long. Around 2 p.m., a gray sedan pulled up to the curb, and 3 people stepped out, 2 men and a woman, all wearing black vests with HOA compliance in bold white letters. The woman, who introduced herself as Karen Ellis, carried a clipboard and a camera, snapping photos of the stand without asking. "This is an illegal commercial operation," she said, her voice sharp. "You're in violation of Sunview HOA regulations. You need to shut this down immediately or pay a $1,500 fine." Maria stood up, her brow furrowed. "Sunview HOA? I've lived here 10 years. There's no HOA in this neighborhood. This is just a lemonade stand for my daughter's school fees." Karen smirked, handing Maria a letter stamped with a fake logo. "Sunview HOA was established last year," she said. "You're under our jurisdiction now. Pay the fine, or we'll have this stand removed." Sofia, who'd been pouring a cup for a customer, froze. "Mom, what's happening?" she asked, her voice small. Maria put a hand on her shoulder, trying to stay calm. "It's okay, Mija," she said. "They're mistaken." But Karen wasn't backing down. One of the men, a tall guy named Derek, stepped forward and kicked the table, sending the pitcher of lemonade crashing to the ground. The liquid splashed across the grass, soaking Sofia's sign. The other man, whose name tag read Steve, grabbed a handful of cups and crumpled them, tossing them into the yard. "You heard her," Derek said, his voice cold. "Shut it down, or we'll be back with the cops." Sofia burst into tears, her small frame shaking as she watched her hard work get destroyed. The neighbors who'd been buying lemonade gasped, some stepping forward to help, but Karen raised a hand. "Stay out of this," she snapped. "This is HOA business." Maria pulled Sofia into her arms, her own eyes burning with tears. "Get off my property," she said, her voice trembling with anger. "You're scaring my daughter." Karen laughed, a cruel, mocking sound. "Pay the fine, or we'll make things worse," she said, before the group got back in their sedan and drove off. That evening, Maria and Sofia sat on the couch, the broken sign on the coffee table in front of them. Sofia was still crying, her face buried in Maria's shoulder. "I just wanted to help, Mom," she said, her voice muffled. "Why did they do that?" Maria stroked her hair, her heart breaking. "I don't know, Mija," she said. "But we're not giving up." Sofia looked up, her eyes red but determined. "I can find out who they are," she said. "I'm good with computers, Mom. I can make them pay for this." Maria hesitated, then nodded. "Okay, baby," she said. "Let's fight back, together." Sofia wasn't just a bright student. She was a tech prodigy. At 12, she'd won a national coding competition, building an app that helped kids with dyslexia learn to read. At 13, she'd taught herself ethical hacking, using her skills to help her school secure its website after a cyber attack. Now, at 14, she was determined to use those skills to protect her mom and get justice for their lemonade stand. "They messed with the wrong girl," Sofia said, her voice steady as she opened her laptop in her small bedroom, the walls covered with STEM awards and a poster of Ada Lovelace. Maria watched, a mix of pride and worry on her face. "Are you sure this is safe, Mija?" she asked. Sofia nodded, her fingers flying across the keyboard. "I'm not breaking any laws, Mom," she said. "I'm just looking for information." She started with the letter Karen had given them. The logo, Sunview HOA, looked official, but Sofia noticed the email address at the bottom. compliance@sunview.org, mailtocompliance@sunview.org. She ran a quick WHOS lookup on the domain, finding it was registered just 6 months ago to a company called Apex Property Solutions, with a P.O. box in Miami. "Fake," Sofia muttered, jotting down the name. Next, Sofia used a simple phishing technique, not to steal data, but to gather intel. She created a fake email account posing as a concerned resident and sent a message to the Sunview HOA email, asking for more information about the fines. Within an hour, she got a reply with a link to a payment portal. "Bingo," Sofia said, her eyes lighting up. The portal was poorly secured, and Sofia easily accessed its backend, finding a database of violations and fines for dozens of homeowners in the area. Maria's name was on the list, along with notes: single mom, easy target, pressure to pay or evict. Sofia's stomach churned. "They're targeting people like us on purpose," she said, showing Maria the screen. "They think we won't fight back." Sofia dug deeper, tracing Apex Property Solutions to a man named Roger Tate, a 45-year-old with a history of fraud convictions. She found his name on a shady forum where scammers shared tips on HOA enforcement scams. Roger had bragged about his operation, saying, "Seniors and single parents are the best marks. They're too scared to fight." Sofia's hands clenched into fists. "He's going down," she said, her voice fierce. She downloaded the entire database, including email chains between Roger and his team, Karen, Derek, and Steve, detailing their plans to extort money and force homeowners to sell. Maria, meanwhile, reached out to the neighbors for support. She knocked on doors, explaining what had happened and asking if anyone else had been targeted by Sunview HOA. Several had received similar letters. One neighbor, a 60-year-old named Mrs. Carter, had paid $500 to avoid a fine for her dog's barking. "I thought it was real," Mrs. Carter said, her voice trembling. "I didn't want to lose my home." Maria's resolve hardened. "We're stopping them," she said. "Sofia's working on it, and we'll get the police involved." Sofia sent the database to a family friend, Officer Lopez, who worked in the Orlando Police Department's cybercrime unit. "This is big, Sofia," Lopez said, scrolling through the files. "You've got enough here to put these guys away for years. But we need to catch them in the act to make the charges stick." Sofia nodded, a plan forming in her mind. "They said they'd be back if we didn't pay," she said. "Let's set up a trap." Lopez agreed, promising to have a team on standby for when the fake HOA cops returned. The next day, Maria and Sofia rebuilt the lemonade stand, this time with a hidden camera taped under the table. Sofia added a sign that read, "Lemonade Stand Reopening. Come support us," and posted about it on the neighborhood's Facebook group. The neighbors showed up in droves, determined to support Maria and Sofia after hearing about the incident. By noon, the lawn was packed with customers, kids laughing as they sipped lemonade, and adults dropping extra money in the tip jar. Sofia watched from the stand, her laptop open on her lap, ready to record everything. Sure enough, the gray sedan pulled up. Karen, Derek, and Steve stepped out, their vests on, their faces smug. Karen marched over, her voice loud. "You were warned," she shouted, pointing at the stand. "This is your last chance. Pay the $1,500, or we're tearing this down." Derek grabbed the pitcher of lemonade and poured it onto the grass, while Steve kicked the table, snapping one of its legs. Sofia's eyes filled with tears, but she kept the camera rolling. "You're on video," she said, her voice steady. "And I know you're not a real HOA. I've got your emails, your database, everything." Karen's face paled, but she tried to bluff. "You're just a kid," she sneered. "You don't scare me." That's when Officer Lopez and his team moved in, sirens blaring as they surrounded the sedan. "Orlando PD." Lopez shouted, his badge out. "You're under arrest for extortion, vandalism, and fraud." The crowd cheered as Karen, Derek, and Steve were handcuffed, their smug expressions replaced with panic. Sofia hugged Maria, her tears now ones of relief. "We did it, Mom," she said, her voice trembling. "We stopped them." Maria kissed her forehead, her heart full. "You're amazing, Mija," she said. "I'm so proud of you." With Karen, Derek, and Steve in custody, Officer Lopez and his team dove into the database Sofia had uncovered. The evidence was damning. Apex Property Solutions had targeted over 50 homeowners in the Orlando area, extorting more than $20,000 in fake fines over the past year. The operation was led by Roger Tate, who'd set up Apex as a front to pressure homeowners into paying or selling their properties to a shady developer, Sunshine Realty Partners. The developer would then flip the land for a profit, splitting the proceeds with Roger. Sofia's hack had blown the case wide open, but she wasn't done. She worked with Lopez to trace Roger's digital footprint, finding a hidden server where he stored backups of his operation, more email chains, financial records, and even a list of future targets. "This guy's been at it for years," Lopez said, scrolling through the files. "He's got operations in 3 other states, Georgia, Arizona, and North Carolina." Sofia's eyes widened. "We have to stop him," she said. "He can't keep hurting people like he hurt us." Lopez nodded, promising to coordinate with the FBI to take down the entire network. Maria, meanwhile, became a local hero. The neighbors who'd supported the lemonade stand spread the word, and soon, the story was picked up by local news outlets like WESH 2. A reporter named Carla interviewed Maria and Sofia on their front lawn, the lemonade stand rebuilt and bustling with customers. "These fake HOA cops thought they could bully us," Maria said, her voice steady. "But my daughter showed them what we're made of." Sofia blushed as Carla praised her tech skills. "I just wanted to help my mom," she said, holding up her laptop. "I didn't want anyone else to go through what we did." The news segment went viral, racking up millions of views on YouTube and sparking a wave of support. People across the country sent letters and donations to help with Sofia's school fees, with one tech company, CodeBright, offering to pay her tuition in full. "We need more girls like Sofia in STEM," the CEO said in a statement. "She's a role model for the next generation." Sofia was overwhelmed, tears in her eyes as she read the messages. "I can't believe it, Mom," she said. "They're paying for my school." Maria hugged her tightly, her heart full. "You deserve it, Mija," she said. "You're going to do amazing things." The community rallied around Maria and Sofia, organizing a lemonade day where every kid in the neighborhood set up their own stand, donating the proceeds to a local charity for single parents. The event raised $5,000, and Maria used some of the money to fix up the house, new paint, a new roof, and a proper lawn for the lemonade stand. "This is our home," she told Sofia, standing on the freshly mowed grass. "And no one's taking it from us." Sofia smiled, her laptop tucked under her arm. "Not with me around," she said, her voice full of confidence. Back at the police station, Lopez and his team were closing in on Roger Tate. Using Sofia's evidence, they tracked him to a condo in Miami, where he was arrested on charges of racketeering, fraud, and cybercrime. The FBI took over the case, dismantling Apex Property Solutions and seizing its assets. Sunshine Realty Partners was hit with a $2 million fine, with the money distributed to the victims. Maria and Sofia received $10,000, which Maria put into a college fund for Sofia. "You're going to change the world," she told her daughter, kissing her forehead. "I know you will." The arrests of Roger Tate and his crew made national headlines, with outlets like CNN and NBC News covering the story. The headline, "Teen Tech Genius Takes Down Fake HOA Scam," captured the public's imagination, and Sofia became an overnight sensation. Social media exploded with hashtags like #JusticeForSofia and #LemonadeStandHeroes, as people shared their own stories of HOA scams and praised Sofia's bravery. A viral TikTok video of the lemonade stand reopening, set to triumphant music, racked up 5 million views, with comments like "Sofia is a legend," and "Don't mess with a girl and her laptop." Sofia's story caught the attention of tech giants, with companies like Google and Microsoft reaching out to offer her internships when she turned 16. CodeBright, the company that had paid her tuition, invited her to speak at their annual conference in Silicon Valley. "I'm just a kid from Orlando," Sofia said in her speech, her voice trembling with nerves. "But if I can stop a scam and help my mom, anyone can make a difference." The audience gave her a standing ovation, and Sofia's face lit up with a shy smile. Maria watched from the front row, tears in her eyes. "That's my girl," she whispered, her heart bursting with pride. Back in Orlando, the community continued to support Maria and Sofia. The Lemonade Day event became an annual tradition, with dozens of kids setting up stands to raise money for local charities. Maria and Sofia's stand was the centerpiece, now a permanent fixture on their lawn with a new sign that read "Sofia's Lemonade," a stand for justice. Neighbors stopped by regularly, not just for lemonade but to chat, turning the lawn into a gathering spot for the community. "You've brought us together," Mrs. Carter told Maria, sipping a cup of lemonade. "We were strangers before this." The legal fallout from the case was significant. Roger Tate was sentenced to 15 years in prison, with Karen, Derek, and Steve each receiving 5 years for their roles in the scam. The FBI's investigation uncovered similar operations in 3 other states, leading to dozens of arrests and the shutdown of multiple fake HOA networks. Lawmakers in Florida introduced a bill called Sofia's Law, making it a felony to impersonate an HOA with intent to defraud, with a focus on protecting vulnerable populations like single parents and seniors. Sofia Gonzalez showed us what's at stake, a state senator said at a press conference, holding up a photo of Sofia at her lemonade stand. "We're fighting for every lemonade stand out there." Maria and Sofia used their share of the settlement to take a small vacation, their first in years, to Disney World, a dream Sofia had since she was little. They laughed on the rides, ate Mickey-shaped ice cream, and took a photo in front of Cinderella's castle, their smiles brighter than ever. "We did it, Mija," Maria said, hugging Sofia tightly. "We made it through." Sofia nodded, her eyes shining. "And we helped other people, too," she said. "That's what matters." The lemonade stand continued to thrive, with Sofia adding new flavors, strawberry, mango, and even a tech punch she named after her laptop. She started a blog about her experience, sharing tips on coding and cybersecurity for kids, which quickly gained a following. "I want to help other girls get into tech," she told Maria one evening, her laptop open on the kitchen table. "If I can do it, they can too." Maria smiled, her heart full. "You're already helping, Mija," she said. "You're my hero." In the years that followed, Sofia's story became a beacon of hope for kids everywhere. Her blog grew into a full-fledged platform, with thousands of followers learning to code through her tutorials. She was invited to speak at schools across Florida, sharing her story and encouraging girls to pursue STEM. "Don't let anyone tell you you can't do it," she told a group of middle schoolers, holding up her laptop. "I took down a scam with this. You can do anything." The kids cheered, inspired by the girl who'd turned a lemonade stand into a movement. Maria's life changed, too. With Sofia's tuition covered and the settlement money providing a safety net, she was able to cut back on her hours at the grocery store and start a small catering business, specializing in lemonade and baked goods. The business took off, with Maria catering events across Orlando, often with Sofia by her side, pouring lemonade and chatting with customers. "This all started with you," Maria told Sofia one day, as they set up for a local festival. "You made this possible." Sofia smiled, her braces glinting in the sun. "We did it together, Mom," she said. The community around their house became a tight-knit family, with neighbors looking out for each other and supporting local causes. The annual Lemonade Day grew bigger each year, raising thousands for charities that helped single parents and kids in need. Sofia donated a portion of her blog's earnings to the event, ensuring it would continue to make a difference. "This is our way of giving back," she told Maria, handing out cups at the stand. "Just like you taught me." Maria nodded, her eyes misty. "Your dad would be so proud," she said, her voice soft. Sofia's law passed in Florida with bipartisan support, and similar laws were proposed in other states, including Texas and California. Advocacy groups for single parents used Sofia's story to raise awareness about scams, distributing flyers with tips on how to spot fake HOAs and protect property rights. Sofia Gonzalez showed us the power of one voice, an advocate said at a rally, holding up a photo of Sofia at her stand. "She's a reminder that even the smallest stand can make a big difference." For Maria and Sofia, the greatest reward was their bond. On the third anniversary of the incident, they held a special event at the lemonade stand, inviting the neighbors, Officer Lopez, and even Carla from Wesh 2. They unveiled a new sign for the stand, a gift from the community, that read "Sofia's Lemonade, where heroes are made." The crowd cheered as Sofia cut the ribbon, her smile brighter than ever. "This stand isn't just about lemonade," she said, her voice clear. "It's about fighting for what's right and never giving up." Maria stood beside her, tears in her eyes, knowing they'd turned a moment of pain into a legacy of hope. As the sun set, casting a golden glow over the lawn, Maria and Sofia sat on the porch, sipping lemonade and watching the neighbors laugh and chat. "We did good, Mija," Maria said, her hand on Sofia's. Sofia nodded, her laptop on her lap, already working on her next coding project. "We're just getting started, Mom," she said, her eyes shining with determination. The lemonade stand stood proudly in the yard, a symbol of resilience, love, and the power of a girl who refused to let bullies win. Maria and Sofia turned a lemonade stand into a symbol of justice, taking down a group of fake HOA cops who thought they could bully a single mom and her daughter. They didn't know Sofia was a tech genius who'd hack their entire operation and bring them to their knees. Now, their story is inspiring kids everywhere to stand up and fight back. This is HOA Karen Files, where we shine a light on the heroes who refuse to back down. Have you or someone you know been targeted by a fake HOA? Tell me in the comments. I read every one. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss the next story. We'll see you soon, and let's keep standing up for what's right.